So right now, somewhere in your bank statement, there is a $12 charge or a $29 charge, maybe a $49 charge. And if you're honest with yourself, you may be probably using 10% of what that tool or a service or a subscription actually does. The other 90% is literally the dead weight. Features you clicked once and never touched again, designed for someone else's problem, but not yours. But here's what changed. AI can now build software, not for engineers, not for startups with 500K in funding, but for you right now, and it's today. The era of building bloated one-size-fits-all software is ending, and the era of building your own micro tools, MicoSaaS, tailored exactly to your workflow has quietly begun. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you what MicoSaaS actually means, why it's now accessible to anyone, and how people with zero coding background and building tools that would have cost tens and thousands of dollars to develop just 3 years ago often now can be built in just an afternoon. I did talk about bloated SaaS, what that means. Let me explain. You probably know this tool called Canva is one of the coolest platforms that I've ever used. It's a glorified version of PowerPoint presentation with insane number of features and capabilities. Just look at the pricing page of Canva. But let me just show you this specific piece. 1.6 million templates, 4.7 million photographs, magic layers, all that. Awesome features, no offense. But someone who knows what exactly they want can only need maybe 1 or 2 templates, maybe 1 or 2 photographs. And I don't need a brand kit. I just took Canva as an example because I had to experience it the first time. So I built my own version of Canva where I cherry-picked the features that I use on a regular basis. I did not build it just for the sake of building it or because I could build it. The only reason I build it is to avoid chaos, streamline my process, to reduce the number of clicks, number of steps that I usually go through when I'm using platforms like Canva. Let me show you a quick example. I built an app called Slider app. My mom records YouTube videos and she creates 5 to 6 slides and then adds voiceover to them and then literally publishes them. And I try to teach her how to use Canva and she gets lost because of too many things Canva shows for the typical user. So I try to understand what her user behavior is, what exactly the number of steps that she goes through on Canva, and captured those things and created an app exclusively for her. So it has a login screen. So anyone who wants to try it out, I'll drop a link in the chat so you can try it out. You can create a new project. She writes up 5 bullets. She has an option to upload an image. So an image can be uploaded here. When I hit the generate button, she needs 6 slides, meaning a master slide, which has all the points in it, and an individual slide, which has each one of those points. You can see a pop-up here, which says, yeah, your deck is ready, which is where she goes into VoiceOver Studio and where she has all the images individually created for her need. So she doesn't have to repeat that process. You could see there are individual slides and there is an option for her to record for each of these slides. And once you record, you could export the video. You could simply download the images just by clicking the images. She then can go to thumbnail section where she has a template. She uses this for every other video. And I created a section where she could pick whatever she wants on the blue ribbon, also on the red ribbon, and she puts the actual title. So this way, her number of steps to create a typical video completes in the shortest amount of time compared to creating that same thing with Canva. Let me show you how I actually created that app. I went to AI Studio from Google. I literally typed up the top 5 to 6 features that I use from Canva, and I asked AI Studio to build it. When I say I asked, I literally typed a prompt. I did not even write a single line of code. Obviously, I need some authentication, I need some database, and I literally mentioned all these things in the chat. It created the Google authentication, it created the GCS bucket, it created the GCP project, it created all the things that you would need in a typical SaaS application, and deploys that into Cloud Run, and then makes available with a real live link where you can distribute it to the people who you want or just for yourself. In another video, I'll go through a detailed way of creating an app and deploying it in Google Cloud. But this is where exactly I developed my own version of Canva, deployed it, and made it live for my mom. At the starting of this video, I told you that you would never look at $49 per month subscription the same way again. I literally meant that. The software industry built its entire business model on selling you more than what you just need. That model worked because building software used to require a team, a budget, and months of time. It doesn't anymore, which is a good thing. You now know that AI can build exactly what you need in hours just for free. Of course, there might be some minimal cost, but definitely not something that you would have to pay on a monthly basis. The question isn't whether this is possible. You just watched it happen in real time. The question is, what are you going to build first? Pick one tool, build it this week. And let me know if you have any questions about this video.